whenever I hear people say, "Oh, I'm returning energy," you hate yourself. Say that shit with your chest. Stop trying to just say you don't want to leave. Just say you don't want to leave. It's okay. Nobody gonna hate you if you say you want to leave. Shit. Let's talk about it. The whole concept of returning energy just means that you don't have the energy, and just means that you don't want to leave the relationship. So you, instead of you trying to create your own energy, you want to return energy. Why are you not trying to create your own energy? What is your own energy? Do you even know your own energy? Do you even know yourself? Do you even know yourself? No, you don't. Because if you do, you would have known you don't like returning energy. Returning energy is a way to avoid accountability for the fact that you don't know yourself and you don't know what you bring to the table. You don't know what you bring to the table. You don't know what really the vibe. You don't know nothing. And because you don't know yourself, you don't know the energy that you want to bring. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you need. You don't know nothing. So you resort to returning energy. That is a form of self-hatred, and nobody can convince me otherwise. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm returning energy. No, nigga. No. Oh, I'm returning energy. Make your own energy. Never let anybody in a relationship make you feel like you have to return energy, because it's just petty for petty. It's just fire for fire. And both are looking stupid. You return. If a bum is a bum, why are you trying to be a bum by returning bum energy? If a person is a bad person and you returning that bad person's energy, what do you think that's going to make you? A good person? What? You're going to be a bad person. Are you dumb? And you want to be a bad person? You want to partake in those bum activities? Now for me personally, I don't want to tell anybody how to cope with life, yeah? But the whole return energy just means that you refuse to take accountability for the fact that your life is shit. You don't like the relationship that you're in. You don't like the people that you surround yourself with. You don't like the things that you're doing, and you resort to return energy because you refuse. You refuse to look at yourself and understand your own energy and understand what it is that you bring to the table. So instead, you focus on other people and what other people are doing to you, and what other people this and other people that, and I'm such a good person, and everybody keep doing me bad, so I might as well just be a bad person. No, Baba. You are afraid of confrontation. That's what return energy sounds to me. You're afraid of confrontation. You're afraid of loving yourself. You're afraid of being somebody that you respect. You're afraid of change. That's what return energy gives to me. Because it's a form of self-hatred. You could never tell me that as a person that loves themselves, if you see a bad person hurting, you're gonna try and hurt them back. Fighting fire with fire. You could never tell me you have any type of you could never tell me you have any type of love for yourself if that's what you're doing to yourself, because all you're doing is taking in that person energy and giving it back. And you know that transfer of energy is literally making your soul more heavy, because that's not you. That's that person energy. That's that person's vibe. That's not you. And if you really actually sit down with yourself and actually just ask yourself what it is that you want to bring to the table, what it is that you do bring to the table, what it is that you do encourage and do love and do dislike and do not tolerate, if you actually sit down yourself and ask yourself those questions, you'd realize returning energy is nothing, Bev. Return energy is not even something you would waste your time with. Hating on anybody's doing something that you'll be thinking about on a regular, because you have other things to study. You have other things to go towards. You have other goals and stuff to work on. Returning energy as a grown man, as a grown woman, returning energy, and you really look at me and my face and be like, I'm returning his energy, I'm returning her energy because they treated me like shit. So bum for bum. That's what you're telling me. Bum for bum. Nobody wanna grow. Nobody was trying to change. Nobody trying to break the cycle. Just bum for bum and hurt people hurting more people. Tell me if that making sense. You don't think it have enough hurt people in this world? Come on. Actually, let's think about this for a second. Right? The continuous cycle of hurting people, and you deciding not to heal yourself, you deciding not to love yourself, it's just continuing the cycle. You just are cog in the wheel of self-hatred. That's all you are. And as an NPC, you're just there to keep the story, the narrative, the propaganda going. That's what you're there for. Instead of fighting against, instead of rebelling against what the propaganda, instead of fighting against what the things of society is telling you to do, because returning energy is a stupid girl advice. Stupid man advice. Oh, I'm returning energy. Nigga! Girl! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because let's be real, let's be honest, the only reason why you feel like you have to return energy is because that person has been hurting you continuously. Instead of leaving, you're still there. That's the reality. That's the reality. I'm returning energy. No! You just don't want to leave. You just don't want to leave. You just don't want to face the fact that if you leave, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of being by yourself. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of meeting a new person. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of allowing yourself to be loved. And you're going to realize, oh my God, wait. I don't love myself. Literally. Because you're returning energy. No energy of your own. No energy of what you want. No energy of how you want to be. Ladies and gentlemen, the majority, we have to decide upon things that sometimes in life you have to decide upon yourself about what you want. Sometimes in life you have to decide and you have to choose. Because returning energy is a choice. But it's a choice to be the person that you hated. That's what it is. You're in a relationship and you're choosing to be the person that you hated. That's what returning energy is giving. Because let's be real, let's be honest, you don't actually love that person. The love for that person has been weird gone. When you have to resort to returning energy, the love for that person has been weird. It's gone. Poof. In fact, even if you didn't have love for that person, it's tainted because you're not yourself anymore. You're pretending to be them. You don't even know who. That's why people feel lost in relationships. Because they give their all. They change themselves. You're supposed to be your individualistic person, your own individual person, and you stuck here talking about I'm returning energy. He ain't text me back, she ain't text me back, so I'm not gonna text back. Text me back, she ain't text me back, so I'm not gonna text back. That makes sense to you? Really? If you're the type of person to text back fast, find someone that's gonna text back fast. You shouldn't be trying to return a person's energy. You should be trying to match your energy. Let a person, if you up here, let that person be up here with you. Not every person down here, you go down. That's not how that shit goes. Because everybody hurting each other. And you know, there's this thing in the Bible, right? It goes something along the lines of being equally yoked. Equally yoked doesn't just have to do with Christianity. Being equally yoked is like let me give you the analogy. It's two bulbs and they're connected by this big thing, right? And if one bulb move forward, it has to wait for the next bulb to move forward. If one bulb stops, the next bulb can't move because they're connected by this big thing. I wish I'll show a picture up here. They're connected by this big thing and they cannot move. If you are connected to the wrong person, there's only two things that's gonna happen. Either that person is gonna slow you down, or you are going to slow down that person, or the third thing, both of y'all are going to move forward together. Some days y'all might stop, some days y'all might keep going, but y'all are gonna keep on moving, chugga, you get? But if that person refuses to move from the spot that they're in, and you decide upon yourself that you're not gonna move, you're gonna stay right there with them, both of you starting, both of you are going, both of your energy depleted and drained, especially you, because you trying to match their pace. You trying to match their pace when you supposed to be moving way farther. You're the one that's gonna be the most depleted because you're returning energy. You hate yourself. Yeah, let's get out of the way. You hate yourself. Just say that. Would just say, whenever I hear people say, oh, I'm returning energy, you hate yourself. Say that shit with your chest. Stop trying to just say you don't want to leave. Just say you don't want to leave. It's okay. Nobody gonna hate you if you say you don't want to leave. Shit. But don't ever try to make it seem like you trying to go on a good path, because the path is wretched over there. I'm telling you. And how do we go about not returning this energy? How do we face the fact of the matter that returning energy is a form of self-hatred? You need one. You need to leave that relationship. Whoever the fudge you return energy with, because that ain't yours to be girl. That ain't never been yours. So stop that. Second of all, you have to decide that you have to be okay with being alone. You have to decide, in this moment, when I leave, I'm okay with being alone. And 3, you have to learn how to love yourself. People talk about love yourself. You have to give yourself compassion. You have to learn and know. How to love yourself? You have to sit down with yourself long enough to know the person before you love them. How did you learn to love that person? You sat down with that person, you interacted with that person, you talk to that person, you listen to their thoughts, you listen to how they move, how they observe yourself long enough to learn how to love yourself. Observe yourself living through life. Get to know yourself. Get to know what you like. Get to know what you don't like. Get to know what you don't want to tolerate in life. Get to know what you need to change. Get to know what's your strengths. What are the things that you love about yourself? Get to know these things. Because if you do not have at least one thing you love about yourself, something is wrong. If you cannot, I always tell my friends this, if you cannot list about 10 things that you love about yourself, as well as your 10 weaknesses, something is wrong. If you cannot list 10 weaknesses, you're very prideful. If you cannot list 10 strengths, you're very you hate yourself. If you can at least name 5, you're reaching self-love. But if you can't name 1, you hate yourself. You hate yourself. Sorry, Baba. Sorry, darling. But you need to be able to get to know yourself. Get to learn how you move, get to learn what you like, get to learn what you do like, and when you do learn what you like, incorporate what you like more into your life so that you love your life, so that you don't feel a need to return energy with nobody because you love your life. One of my friends was having a discussion, and I literally told her I would never waste my energy trying to hate on nobody because I love my life too much. I would never waste my energy on a man or a woman and waste my energy when I know that they aren't going to meet me where I'm at. I would never waste my time, and I'll never waste their time. Because let's be real, let's be honest, the fact that you haven't left that relationship is a waste of yours and their time. And both of y'all know it. You're just trying to teeter on the edge. You're just trying to play with the fact, we leave, should I retain energy? That's what y'all trying to do. So let's really and truly sit down and be honest with ourselves, darlings, my loves. Like, let's actually dissect what's really going on. Because really and truly, you need to start admitting to yourself that you actually hate what's going on. Even if let's just say that you don't hate yourself. You hate what's going on. It's time you stand up for yourself and decide what it is that you want to do. It's time you find a lust for life. It's time you find a love for your life. Mwah! Kisses, my darlings. Bye.